Hey guys, it's Donnie with DK Motorsports. I've got Brandon here with Lone Star Fab. Just wanted to introduce you guys to him. He's been helping on the Comanche build with the roll cage, and he's been a lot of help. And I just want to introduce you guys to him. So yeah, this is Brandon, and you want to tell us how did you get started in all of this?
Man, my family's, always kind of been in the racing scene, more drag racing and race boats and stuff like that. So that was kind of how I got started into it, and did the oil field thing for quite a few years, and still always dabbled around, with some race cars and whatnot, and just got tired of the traveling thing and just decided.
Doing pipeline, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pipeline? Yeah.
So just decided to start doing it full time and make a career out of it.
Right. Which can be pretty hard. I mean, it's challenging to own a fabrication shop. I actually met Brandon through Ken with Patriot Performance. And we had actually kind of tried to hook up a few times and get to work together, and we were finally able to make it happen on the Comanche, and he's been doing a great job. As you'll see in this clip, we've got pretty much the entire cage done. If it's not fully welded, it's tacked in. Tonight we actually finished the seat mount for the driver's seat, and it's been going great. I mean, it's pretty unique to find somebody that's willing to come out to you. I'm not saying that he's going to do that for everybody, but I really appreciate you doing that. And so what are your goals? Where do you see Lone Star Fab going?
Man, I really like to be, a smaller shop, just because I feel like you get to pay a little bit more attention to detail on stuff, because you're not feeling rushed to get something out because you've got something else ready to come in or already sitting there. So I like to keep things a little bit small. So my goal is to just keep it where, maybe I can, keep me and a couple guys, keep us busy, steady, but, not just get to a point where, it just, you don't like what you do anymore.
Right. Well, which is definitely something that I've learned. That's why I'm not, I wouldn't want to do this for a job. I enjoy it, and it's a hobby, but it's definitely tough to find that balance. Are you looking to do bumpers and rockers, or what?
I do a little bit of a lot. So basically, it's one of those things. It's hard to do certain things just because of the money aspect of it. For instance, a bumper. It's hard for me to charge somebody what I have to have, because I don't buy in mass quantities and stuff like that. So yeah, I do stuff, but it generally does cost a little bit more.
Which is pretty standard.
Yeah.
I think. I know you've said you built a lot of race car cages. That's kind of where you got started, right? With working for some race car guys, and he's built some fast car cages, I guess. And so that was one of the things that really got me interested in him, was that, I wanted somebody that was comfortable with building, a cage for a go fast situation, because obviously with Ultra4, there's always that potential for a blowout. Steering could go out. That's what happened in my UTV, where my steering broke coming off a jump, and it took me for a ride. And luckily, I had a good cage in that car, and that's what we, I feel like we definitely achieved that in this truck, that we built a safe cage. But yeah, I think that's it, guys. I just wanted to do a quick introduction. I'm going to leave a link to his Facebook page. He's still working on getting his social media up and going, but you guys should definitely check him out, follow him, and I appreciate you working on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, and I don't keep up with the social media as much as I should, but I'm working on that. So that's kind of been one of my goals for this coming up year, is to work a little bit more with my social media so that people can see the things that we are doing, because, it's like I've told you, I might post something that I did a month ago, and I just don't have time to sit there and, you know, post it and write all the stuff out.
Right. Well, it's definitely, social media is a full-time job.
Oh,
I mean, it really is. Yeah. But you need to make your first goal for the new year to come out to KOH. Be out there
absolutely.
at the Hammers.
We're definitely working on that for sure.
Yeah, and he's got a pretty sick pre-runner Ford Ranger that he just got that he's working on as well. So hopefully we'll see that out at the Hammers as well.
Yep. That'd be nice.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Alex and Donnie here from DK Motorsports in the DK Motorsports garage. Going to be doing some spray painting of the seat mounts so we can install the Corbeau seats and show you a little bit of that. Kind of got all this pretty much done, right, Donnie? Just some welds you said down here have to get done, or and the brackets that you guys built and get them in here.
Right. Yeah, we got the other side already pretty much painted up and good to go. And basically what we did was we, as you might be able to see down there, we tied in the seat mount, the little seat cage into the cage itself, which is pretty important to do, that you make sure your seat's actually tied into the cage that's protecting you. So, yeah.
Yep, and then we got the harnesses too, so those we can show too later.
Yep.
Yeah. You want me to go?
Alright, go for it.
Alright.
I'm just going to put this back up just for visual.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to grind that one a little bit more for you. Right. Yeah, it's not ready yet. I've got to grind it more.
Okay.
So ignore that. This one you can see we've already finished. We, you know, like Alex was saying, we basically built our frame. We're using the side mount tabs, and it's tied into the main cage. And then on the outside part, you know, it's not really possible for us to be able to tie it in from side to side because the transmission tunnel's so tall. So what we did instead was we basically just hammered this in pretty good, and then we put a 3/16 plate, you know, in the back and in the front on both sides, and that kind of helps tie everything in together and gives it a lot more support. It was a lot of just messing with it, and you know, part of the problem is that, you know, I'm fairly tall and I've got a long torso, so I set up a lot higher than a lot of people do. Like Lance is close to my height, but his torso is shorter, so he sits a lot lower. He's got longer legs, so that was kind of a challenge in trying to figure out how high can we make the seat so that Lance can see well while making sure that it's still safe for me to be in. And that's, again, one of the challenges to run the internal cage, where you've got not a whole lot of room to work with. If we would have done the exo cage, there would have been that much more room. But regardless, we got it figured out. So
it looks better this way.
Yeah, it looks a lot better. It looks cool, you know. It's really going to have the kind of a mini trophy truck style look to it. We've got pretty much all the gussets in. They're not all welded in yet, but we've got them at least tacked in. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. The front, we're gonna run a the co-driver bar basically through the glove box, so that's going to come out, and the GPS and all that's going to mount to that. We'll have buttons for the horn.
That's a cool idea you had.
Yeah.
That'll be a lot more convenient.
Yeah.
Especially if you could put the horn and.
Yeah, and one of the things that I've learned about in Ultra4 is that they like to have the handles for the co-driver to be vertical, because that keeps your elbows in. Where if you have a horizontal bar, your elbows can come out, so you can contact the door and the cage or whatever. Or if you have a vertical handle, you can kind of suck in your elbows, and if you're in a violent situation, you can stay a lot more compact. So that's what we're going to do there. So yeah, we're pretty excited to finally have the seat mounts done so we can get the seats in. The cage, like I said, is pretty much all done. And, this next week we're going to be working on the Arctic truss and getting the Clayton 3-link in. And we're waiting on tires still haven't gotten those. So we really can't get it on all fours quite yet, but we're getting there. So
have you talked about the bumper yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Let's look at that. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So the back bumper is pretty cool. So this is the dirt-bound off-road. I've actually used them quite a bit in the past. I've actually got the stubby front bumper on Old Blue, and we've hit that thing a bunch of times. It's never budged, and it's a real reasonable price. I mean, great group of guys. They're not sponsoring us or anything, but that's all right. I mean, we understand there's not a lot of margin in the bumpers, and I don't mind supporting a good company that cares about the Cherokee and MJ world. So basically, this is pretty cool, right? So this for the MJ, this is the short bed quarter panel reinforcement. So this is going to help reinforce this whole side, because then in 4600, you're not allowed to modify the rear rockers, the rear quarter panel, and if they're damaged to a point where you actually get an advantage from it, you can be penalized for that. So that's part of the reason why I bought these, so that I can help kind of keep that from happening, because, I mean, this thing is going to get smashed. So hopefully this will do some good in keeping it all together. It tied into the back bumper, so it should look pretty sick.
Yeah, we got to get that color match there.
Yeah, the sides I'm going to try and match to this blue. The rear bumper, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do blue on that as well, or maybe
gold.
Maybe gold. These are pretty cool too. A lot of bumpers have them. This is actually for the high lift, so that the point that goes in for the high lift actually goes right there. So it really gives you a pretty stable place. And those are for the rear fog lights. I've actually got some. So yeah, I'm gonna put some of those in before we put the bumper on. But that'll all be installed this week, because we're actually gonna work on tying in the tire mount. So the plan for the tire mount in the back, I'm gonna run basically tubes coming down, tying into the back bumper. And for KOH, where it's a long race, a lot of potential for tire failures, whatever can happen. It's a lot of stuff can happen out there in the desert. So what we're gonna do out there is I'm actually gonna run 2 tires side by side like this, basically, and they'll be strapped, and it's gonna give it a pretty cool, trophy truck, pre-runner type of look. I mean, we're gonna have those method bead locks in there with the gold. It's gonna look pretty sick. And in the center, we'll have some kind of a floor jack set up. And I think for every other race, I'll just have 1 tire, and it's just gonna be basically in the middle there, like so. And we'll just run 1 tire, because most of our other races in Ultra4 aren't nearly as long, so. We should be in pretty good shape with just running 1 spare. But yeah, we got the fuel cell. We still need to install that. We're going to see that coming up this week. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be mainly suspension, getting that stuff up. Once we get to that point, we're getting close, and we can pull this thing out in the sun and see what it looks like. And paint the cage gold. Alex is going to be helping a lot with that. And
speaking of paint, let's go see if we're ready for a second coat.
yeah, let's do it. Axel, hush! You good?
Yeah.
Alright. So we got a Corbeau FX1. I've already painted the driver's side, so let's go ahead and get this one in first. We'll get it bolted in, and then we'll work on make sure the paint's dried on the passenger side. We'll get that one bolted in. We'll get a look for how it looks. So we'll get a.
I feel like this is the passenger side one. I think
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
They're both the same.
Okay.
They're identical. They're both FX1, so it's kind of crowded in here, but hopefully soon they'll be changing as we get more stuff bolted in. So let's see. So we're using the sound side mount. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So that's the driver's seat pretty much all bolted in. This is all dried up, so we can go ahead and get this one in. If I can remember where we put all the bolts for this side.
I have two in my pocket.
Oh, you got them? All right, cool. Let's do it.
Oh.
All right.
Focus, Dana. There they are. Alright. This was also something I thought you guys were smart about, making sure you could get the seat in and out. Very nice forethought. to talk about how you got this dash back in, right?
Yeah.
And ran that dash bar through. I think that was pretty clever. We got to get some cool gauges.
You what?
You need some cool gauges in here.
Yeah. I think for the gauges, what kind of the plan is that we're gonna basically do like a full sheet metal across, and we'll run some gauges in the center. As far as I'm concerned, or the driver is concerned, we don't really need a whole lot. Just basically a tack and some maybe like oil pressure, water temperature, and whatnot. We'll have like a transmission temperature and some other gauges on this side. One of the things that we had initially talked about doing was having like a OBD2, like a scan tool type of thing, where we've got like an actual like dash, like a tablet type of thing that's mounted. That really shows a lot more stuff about what's going on, and there's a lot more, I guess, you can customize it quite a bit more, and you can decide what you want to show, the alarms and all that type of stuff. On this side, like I said before, we're going to have that, the co-driver bar is basically going to come out of here, and we'll have the intercom and the radio over here, pretty easy for the co-driver to be able to get to. But yeah, let me get this thing in. And part of the problem that I'm fighting here is that when we drilled these holes, we basically drilled them almost identical to the size of the bolt.
Oh.
So it has to be 100% lined up, which is kind of stupid. So I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend
Bigger hole.
A little bit bigger, just so that you have that adjustment. There we go.
Well, you're just so perfect, I'm sure you can get it.
Do you what?
I said you're so perfect, I'm sure you can get it.
Yeah, right. Alright. Hand me a bolt.
Yes, sir.
Alright. So let me make sure we got this one lined up. Yeah, I got this light behind me so I can't see crap.
Oh, what do you want? Can I help? Where's that flashlight?
It's over here, but
Get one of these minions that are hanging out doing nothing to hold a flashlight for.
Yeah. Well, I dropped that bolt, so that bolt's somewhere down there. Ah, here it is.
Do you need tinier hands? Mine could do it, or?
No, I think I got it. I'm just trying to feed it in there.
Should I try from this side? These ones, or?
No.
No. Okay.
Again, it's just the fact that the holes are so small that it's just got to be perfectly lined up, and it just makes it a giant pain. You can also get, you can just buy like the brackets from Corbeau that are made to bolt up to the seats if you have more of a standard type of floor. We knew when we bought this that we weren't going to be able to use those, so it wasn't even something that we really considered.
Nothing convenient.
Nope.
I've never actually sat in these in the vehicle, so I'm gonna do that when you get these in.
Yeah, the floors, we hammered this in pretty hard, but we still had to get like some different tool. Like here, it's so tight that we can't get the anything else in.
it's in there, no?
Yeah, yeah, it is. But again, it's that just the hole is so small going through this bracket. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We can call that good. We don't have to do the front one.
Can we sit in it?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna do a little, oh, come on. Little selfie mode. All right, let's see if I can get in this thing.
Yeah, the steering wheel's not attached, so.
Yeah. I'm doing selfie mode.
Oh, okay.
I'm so cute in the seat. All right, here you go. They're way roomier, though,
Yeah.
than the aluminum seats there. But so this will actually be up here, right?
Yeah, this guy's set up quite a bit higher.
I think it's, like for me, I'd want to be about here. But that could be done with like padding or something.
Why? Why do you need to be that high?
Look, this is in my view. Shouldn't I be able to see the end of the car?
Not necessarily.
Because I'm just going to be like,
Right.
go, go, go.
Yeah.
Not
You
that
want
I'm
to sit
driving.
on the other side, see how it fits? I don't think you're going to be able to go that way.
Oh, really? That sounds like a challenge. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
What do you think about that?
This is a lot better
Yeah.
for me because the dash.
Yeah,
You
I was
want it,
wondering.
and you want to keep this original like that, right?
Right.
You like
yeah,
that?
we're gonna.
Yeah.
Well, we have to. I mean, I want this so that I can put all the gauges in there. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that'll be nice. Like if I had something right here, or like when you're co-driving or driving, whatever.
Right.
And then that'll be better because the horn in there, you know, is kind of like a reach with the harness on. But this, if we just had buttons, like you were saying,
Right.
that would be great.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the things that you don't really think about too much when you're installing buttons and you're installing whatever. In that, if you're just sitting in the car and you're loosely
Yeah.
harnessed in, then you can reach around and you can turn the switch. Or like for us, it was the horn button and the pumper switch for air pumper. It was like Alex couldn't. I mean, she was sitting right in front of it, and she couldn't reach it. My arms were long enough that I could reach over and flip the switch for her. But yeah, it's just something that you really have to consider when you're strapped into the seat.
And Donnie, I like this a lot. The height of this bar
Yeah.
is like nothing to get out.
Right.
It's gonna be pull them out, hop out like
Yeah.
that, instead of having to like
Right.
climb up and out.
Well, if the doors get crushed in, then we're still going to be climbing
Well, then
out.
we're going this way.
Yeah. You should actually see if you can get out of close the door and get out of the.
Get out of the window.
Huh?
The window.
Yeah, out the window. Yeah.
What do I got down below? A step stool. Perfect.
Yeah, there's a step stool
Well-
here. I'll put that right there. See if
Yeah.
you can-
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
This sounds.
Oh Lord.
I'm stepping on the brand new
Here
seat.
comes disaster. No, she made it. She made it.
Perfect 10.
Yeah.
No, a lot of room here.
Yeah.
You might with your shoulders. Like you're gonna have to angle your shoulders out. That's gonna be annoying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that was actually one of the first things that we did with these doors is that so when they actually had like a little a vent window thing here, so we were looking at it. I was like, "There's no way that my shoulders are gonna fit in between there." So we actually disassembled the doors and got all that out. So yeah, it should be pretty good. We're gonna have the window nests that are actually gonna mount to the doors themselves. So they'll just have the little deal where you can unbolt it and they'll just fall down. So that'll be nice because we won't have to undo the window nuts necessarily, because we'll, as long as the doors continue
Open the
working,
door, yeah.
Yeah, just open the door. Yeah.
That'll be different.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty good.
There's not going to be any, it's just going to be, this is about the height that it's going to ride, right?
No, it should be quite a bit lower, hopefully. Because if not, then it might not come out of this garage. So.
Lance said he thought this was about.
No, I think it should end up quite a bit lower. I mean, this is pretty tall compared to even the Cherokee. So.
Yeah, because otherwise maybe putting a little foot thing like you have, or the rocker will be here. Will it come out a little bit?
Yeah, I still don't know how I'm going to do the rocker exactly. If I want to do just a tube that comes out and runs all the way back, or if I'm going to do that, like the box tubing, like the 2x6 or the 2x8. I think for weight purposes, we'll probably do the tubing. Right. It'll be quite a bit later. But yeah, all of that's all finished welded in, so we're pretty much 100% good to go. I've still got a little bit more welding to do on the unibody itself, but not a whole lot. Yeah.